Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Let's start with this whole Jake situation, and about the company and everything like that, because here's my thoughts about this whole thing. First of all, I feel like with Jake and Hemsmith, they're trying to get this company or, keep his job, as he says. It's one of those things where it's like, bro, first of all, the only reason why you actually have this job is because of your last name. Your passion was being a mechanic, okay? You only chose this job just because it was given to you, you know? So, this whole when you sit there like sweating bullets and stuff like that, and he's talking to Gabby like, oh, I just gotta sit there and see if I can keep my job. It's like, bro, seriously, on another note, you act like if you lose this job, you're gonna be out on the streets just destitute or something. You're rich. You are literally set for life, regardless if you run this company or not. So I don't really understand. Again, why is he sitting there acting like this is the end of the world? On top of that, he wouldn't even have this job if it wasn't for Chad stepping down. So, he's sitting there acting like this job it means so much to him that he worked so hard, and it's like you really haven't. When you really sit there and think about it, you really haven't. On top of that, even though what Chad did was whatever, Chad does actually have more experience than you. And it'd be very easy for Chad to sit there and come back and them to sit there and vote for Chad because, well, let's be honest. Dude's been doing this for a while. He has a passion for it, okay? Your passion is being a mechanic. The only reason why you got this job, again, is because you felt like you was owed it because of your last name. So, with that being said, yeah, so you got this whole thing where you got Jake and he's sitting there talking to Kate, and Kate says something along the lines of, just that if you're only going out with me because you feel sorry for me or something like that, I will make sure I won't give you my vote, and that will be that, or something along those lines. And I'm sitting there just like, bro, she literally okay, this is literally how she feels. Okay, she's literally telling you how she feels about you. And you're cool with that? You're cool with continuing to sit there and suck up to her? Like I just so of course, he sits there and says, oh, I'm not going out with you because of this, that, and the third. And, Gabby leaves or whatever, because she's just like she's done with this whole thing. Um Then you got the two brothers, Chad, and you got Tony sitting there plotting and stuff like that. They got some more votes. He lost some votes. Um, Tony's like, listen, you think you could sit there and get Kate's vote? And Chad's like, hey, listen, I tried. She was a hard pass or whatever. And then Chad says something along the lines of, it's not about her libido or whatever. And the way he says it, Tony has this look like, yo, listen, if you got something on her, um, better use it because we need everything we can get to sit there and, get the company back. Um, but Chad says something to kind of just, like calm him down or whatever. Like, no, it's about her pride, and she trained Jake, so she doesn't want Jake to lose or some BS like that. At the end of the day, he's not gonna sit there and I guess really like turn her over or whatever. Turn her in. Now you got EJ upstairs with Sammy, and oh my goodness, was this such a hard scene to sit there and watch. Um, and it's towards the end, a little bit towards the end, but pretty much EJ's like, listen, I got Kristen, as my ace in the hole, and Sammy, being as petrified as she is, starts trying to, tell EJ it's a bad idea because, if the cops find out, you can go to jail and I just got you back and I don't want to lose you and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, sweetheart, this is literally about trying to save your own ass. Let's not sit there and try to act like it's anything different. Now, to be very clear, she's not wrong. Okay? She's not. Even though it's this ace in the hole, if the cops, the feds, whoever get wind the fact that he knew, Kristen's whereabouts, he could sit, they could sit there and try to charge him with, aiding and abetting. So he's not wrong. Um, but it's not like again, it's not like she's sitting there worried that much about EJ. She's just more worried about herself. And then after that done, she's all like happy and everything like that because she persuaded him to not use Kristen. And to be honest, I'm just like, so what is your backup plan then? Like you're just gonna lose? Like like really? I felt like he should have I felt like he would have fought harder. Instead of just being like, oh, alright, fine, whatever. But then she's all like, go and get him, Tiger, and I'm just like, ugh, that just made me lose my appetite for a good 45 minutes. I was like, thank you, Sammy. Thank you a lot for that. Just that, and then like the little fake laugh that she did when she was in bed, it was just like, mm, I can't. But with that being said, they all get ready to head towards the meeting. So, the meeting starts, Shen is there, and they start to vote. Now, apparently, EJ has 2 votes. He has 1 vote against him as far as like, Theo, and I think somebody else voted for Jake. So when it really comes down to it, and the vote starts. You got the 3 votes that they're going to vote for themselves as far as Chad, Tony, and EJ. And then you got the votes against him, which is Shen, Gabby, Jake, which is himself. And he also got the other vote, the far away vote. He got like 1 far away vote. So it's pretty much split at this point. And they ask Kate. Kate says nay. And she votes against Jake. And I'm just like, wow. Okay, so you really got your revenge. Because when you really think about it, how long was her revenge plot gonna sit there and like stretch out for her? Every time she asked him to do something as far as make love or eat dinner or just spend time, he always just had that look of dread on his face. And no matter how much excitement she was getting from like torturing him, after a while, it just wasn't worth it. I feel like it wasn't worth it just to her own pride. So I guess she just kind of realized it and was just like, you know what, let me sit there and double cross him at the last minute to get my revenge. And she did that. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, part of it sucked. Because I do like Jake. Even though he's done some very questionable things, I do like him as a character. Um, so part of me felt like, felt bad for him. But then the other part of me was just like, bro, again, you're not gonna be broke. You didn't really even want this job. You didn't even know about this job until you became a Demara. Your passion wasn't being in the boardroom, it was working on cars. And again, you're not going to be broke. Also, you're going to sit there and still have Gabby. So, in the end, how much did you really lose? So, and let's talk about Nicole for a minute. Because Nicole's plan is to go in there with Henry and like butter up Lucas. To get him to spill information on him and Sammy as far as any sort of potential affair that they had. I'm sitting there thinking, Nicole, what the hell is wrong with you? He's a baby, okay? He's not alcohol. It's not gonna sit there. How does that work? How does she think that was gonna work? That he was gonna see the baby. He was gonna be like, oh yeah, so it's so cute. Yeah. Me and her, we slept around or whatever for a little bit. We were trapped and, it was in danger and, we did, what we had to to get comfort. And I'm just sitting there just like, that was your big plan to use the baby as some sort of like greasing up Lucas to sit there and spill the beans? Really, Nicole? It's just like, when Nicole sometimes, I just do not understand that character. I really don't. I know she's done some really shady stuff in the past or whatever, but this whole, not telling Eric and having, getting Sammy to have power over you, it's so stupid. Especially since, for the fact that you gotta deal with Sammy. You would think after a while, you know what? F it. Let me just tell the truth and see what happens. I don't really understand that. But anyway, she starts asking questions, and Lucas just feels like he wants to start confessing. And not really because of the baby, but just because it's just weighing on his, on his conscience. So he starts to give up, he starts to give a little information like, yeah, me and her were trapped and, we got closer and yada, yada, yada. But then he stops himself because, he's not drugged or like, drunk. And he's like, why are you asking all these questions? Like, what is all these questions you're asking about? Nicole gives some sort of BS answer, and, Lucas like, listen, next time Sammy comes at you, just ignore her. Which is kind of hard to do because Sammy walks right into the room. They, pretty much give their hisses at each other, and then, Nicole leaves, and Sammy's like, did you tell him anything? Did you tell him anything? Like, what'd you tell him? By the way, Lucas is not there eating like pancakes and stuff like that, and she just grabs it from him and starts eating like the eggs and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, yo, seriously? I'm like, yo, listen, there's certain things for me you don't really mess with. You don't mess with my damn food. What the hell is the matter with you? But she's all worried. She's all like, oh, you didn't tell me anything, right? You didn't tell her anything, like, whatever. And Lucas like, no, I didn't tell him anything. Like, they talk about Kristen and Sammy's like, oh yeah, he was gonna try to bring in Kristen, but I took care of that. Okay, you took care of that. That's good. Meanwhile, you got you got Rafe having sex dreams. Yep. Dude's literally sitting there having damn near sex dreams about Nicole, And he wakes up next to Ava, and Ava's like, oh, is everything alright? You have a nightmare or anything like that? And Rafe's like, yeah, I had a nightmare. I was being chased by a bear. Yeah, it was coming at me. Really? How many of y'all have ever actually had a dream of a bear coming at y'all? Anyone? Because I never actually had a dream of a bear coming at me. I had a dream of a cat coming at me. I mean, literally just like coming at me like it was going to attack me, but never a bear. So, Rafe, you are a bad liar. But it doesn't really matter because they, talk about other stuff and how other people see them and yada, yada, yada. And then he gets ready to go to work. He sees Nicole. They have this awkward conversation. And then when he gets down to the job, well, now he's daydreaming about her. So, I don't know what that's about. I mean, you're waking up next to Ava. You're having dreams about Nicole. What is going on with you, man? Like, here's the thing. I knew that he felt something for Nicole. But then he also felt something for Ava. So I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, what? I guess you're going to have to figure it out because he's just like, women. Meanwhile, Nicole's not there talking to Ava and, just talking about the Sammy situation and Lucas and everything like that. And it's at a point where I feel like Ava should just probably sit there and tell Nicole, just tell the damn truth. Just tell the truth. Don't lie. Let your chips fall where they may, It's like, I mean, I get that sometimes that the best thing you can sit there and do for someone is sit there and listen and not always sit there and give advice because at the end of the day, you're not that person, Just because you think it's a good idea and how you can handle it doesn't mean that they can sit there and think, do that and handle it in the same emotional manner as you. But let's just be honest. I'm pretty sure at some point she either said that or is probably gonna sit there and say that. So it's like, just tell the damn truth, Nicole. Like, this is just you running around town with a damn baby, and that you're trying to get the baby somehow to loosen up, Lucas and sit there trying to neutralize Sammy. Like, what are you doing? How old are you? this is really your plan? I just... I don't really understand that. I think that's about it. I know I probably missed something. I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure I might have missed something. So if I did, please write it down in the comment section below. With that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope everyone has a great and safe weekend. Be safe, and I'll catch you in the next video.